English for Iraq, 6th Primary by Sarah McBurney. Copyright Garnet Publishing Limited 2018.
Hello pupils, how are you? Today I'm going to explain lesson 5 of Unit 2 in your pupils book, pages 30 and 31. So in this lesson we will study materials. أعزائي التلاميذ درسنا لهذا اليوم هو الدرس الخامس من الوحدة الثانية في كتاب الطالب صفحات 30-31. سوف ندرس في هذا الدرس materials المواد materials. So we will talk about fun facts. سوف نتحدث عن حقائق ممتعة أو حقائق مسلية fun facts. We will read about materials. Then we will answer questions belong to these paragraphs. أحب أو أود أن أنبه أنه هذا الدرس يأتي في الأسئلة الوزارية على شكل سين باسج قطعة مرئية في السؤال الأول، حيث يعني يتم تجميع هذه الباراجرافات على قطعة واحدة أو باراجراف واحد تأتي ضمن السؤال الأول، ومن ثم يطرح الأسئلة الخاصة بهذه القطع على شكل true, false أو yes and no. So first we should read the fun facts and explain the words, or we will learn new words within these paragraphs. Then we will answer the questions. First we will talk about wood. راح نحكي عن الwood. Here we have paragraphs for many materials: wood الخشب, rubber المطاط, cotton, leather الجلد, and wool الصوف. We will start with wood. راح نبدأ أيضا أولا بالخشب. Wood comes from trees. الخشب يأتي من الأشجار. Some houses بعض البيوت أو المنازل are made from wood. تصنع من الخشب. And so is a lot of furniture. وكذلك الكثير من الأثاث. Furniture means الأثاث. Paper is usually الورق عادة made from يصنع من wood الخشب to أيضا. إذن في هذه الفقرة يجب أن نركز على comes from. It means يأتي من comes from، وهي عبارة نستخدمها للأشياء التي توجد في الطبيعة من دون تدخل الإنسان. هي موجودة في الطبيعة أصلا بدون تدخل الإنسان. وهوني حطيت only third person of S to the verb come because wood is considered as it. While made from تستخدم made from بمعنى مصنوع من، تستخدم الأشياء التي يتدخل الإنسان في صنعها or something man-made. We say made from مصنوع من. إذن he said wood comes from trees. أن الخشب يأتي من الأشجار. هذا موجود في الطبيعة أصلا. But some houses بعض المنازل أو البيوت are made from wood. Are مع many houses plural. We say are made from مصنوعة من wood الخشب. And so is وكذلك a lot of furniture الكثير من الأثاث. Paper الورق is usually عادة made from wood too. يصنع من أو مصنوع من الورق من الخشب أيضا. نلاحظ أن البيبر نعتبرها it، فأخذت الفعل المساعد is usually made from wood too. هذه كانت قطعة wood. Now we come to rubber. Rubber comes from a tree called the rubber tree. المطاط يأتي من comes from يأتي من a tree من شجرة called تدعى أو تسمى the rubber tree شجرة المطاط. While car tires إطارات السيارة أو عجلات السيارة طبعا هذه plural are made from rubber مصنوعة من المطاط. made from مصنوع من. The rubber in your pencil case المطاط في محفظتك حافظة الأقلام isn't made from rubber غير مصنوعة من المطاط now الآن but from something man-made ولكن من أشياء man-made يعني من صنع الإنسان. So again rubber comes from a tree called the rubber tree. Car tires are made from rubber. The rubber in your pencil case isn't made from rubber now, but from something man-made. 3. Cotton. Cotton comes from a plant. القطن يأتي من النبات. لاحظ cotton comes from موجود أصلا في الطبيعة بدون تدخل الإنسان فنستخدم comes from يأتي من. طبعا ضفت هون اس الشخص الثالث because cotton is considered as it. So cotton comes from a plant. Plant يعني نبات. أن القطن يأتي من النبات. The English word cotton comes from Arabic. The English word cotton الكلمة الإنجليزية word يعني كلمة الكلمة الإنجليزية cotton القطن comes from تأتي من Arabic من الكلمة العربية كتن. Some money بعض النقود some money بعض النقود is طبعا money هون uncountable it's considered as يعني singular so I say is. Some money is made from cotton mixed with other materials. إنه بعض النقود مصنوعة من cotton القطن mixed مخلوط with other materials بمواد أخرى. Now we come to leather. Leather is used for many things such as shoes, boots, jackets, and bags. Leather الجلد is used for يستخدم من أجل أو يستخدم ل many things العديد من الأشياء أو أشياء عديدة such as مثل shoes الأحذية boots الأبواب jackets الجاكيتات and bags والحقائب. In the past في الماضي in the past people used leather الناس استخدموا الجلد for cups لصناعة cups الأكواب tents الخيام bottles and many other things وأشياء عديدة أخرى. Today اليوم most leather معظم الجلد comes from cows يأتي من الأبقار. So we say comes from يأتي من cows الأبقار but it can come ولكن يمكن أن يأتي أيضا from crocodiles التماسيح snakes الأفاعي and other animals وحيوانات أخرى. Finally, we will talk about wool, الصوف. Wool is a very warm and cool material too. أن الصوف is a very warm هو مادة دافئة and cool material too وأيضا مادة رائعة. Wool keeps its shape أن الصوف يحتفظ بشكله أو يحافظ keeps يحافظ its shape شكله and great for making trousers وإنه رائع في صناعة trousers البناطيل sweaters البلوزات and jackets والجاكيتات. كشمير it's a type of wool هذا نوع من أنواع الصوف is a very soft and expensive wool إنه نوع من الصوف جدا ناعم و expensive غالي wool إنه صوف غالي وجدا ناعم and comes from ويأتي من comes from كشمير goats من ماعز الكشمير. These come from وهذه تأتي من many countries عدة بلدان including Iraq ومن ضمنها العراق. So these it means the Kashmir goats come from many countries تأتي من كثير من الدول أو البلدان including Iraq من ضمنها العراق. Now so within fun facts we should focus on comes from and made from. في القطع الخمسة ركزنا على comes from إن نستخدم عبارة comes from مع الأشياء التي توجد في الطبيعة من دون تدخل الإنسان. We say here comes and add third personal s because wood is considered as it. Here rubber is considered as it مفرد, and also cotton comes from, and so on. While made from it means something man-made, يعني الإنسان تدخل في صنع هذه الأشياء فنقول made from مصنوع من, وهذه ممكن تكون is made from or are made from, as we will explain now. We will now, after we translate the paragraphs, بعد ما ترجمنا القطع, now we will answer the question. Here in the first activity, track 28, he said listen and read. اصغي واقرأ. Can you guess? هل تستطيع أن تحذر? Guess, تحذر. If the sentences are true or false. هل إن هذه الجمل هي true صحيحة or false خاطئة. tick true or false. يعني اكتب tick under true if the statement is true, or tick under false if the statement is false. So number one, the word cotton comes from the Arabic word kutun. أن الكلمة العربية the word كلمة the word cotton كلمة cotton الإنجليزية comes from تأتي من the Arabic word kutun تأتي من الكلمة العربية kutun. As we read in the paragraph, this sentence is correct. So I will write tick under true. Tick under true. 2. Paper is usually made from cotton. Paper الورق يعتبر طبعا it استخدمت هون is. ولاحظ استعمال ظرف التكرار usually أو always أو often بعد الفعل المساعد am is are. So paper is usually أن الورق عادة made from cotton يصنع مصنوع من القطن. As we read in the paragraph, paper is usually made from wood, not from cotton. So this statement is incorrect. We will write tick under false. Tick under false. Number 3. All furniture is made from wood. أنه جميع الأثاث all يعني جميع أو كل furniture الأثاث is made from wood مصنوع من الخشب. But in the paragraph he said lot of furniture is made from wood, not all of furniture. So this statement also is incorrect. We should write tick under false and tick on false. 4. Wool comes from sheep, goats, and even rabbits. Wool الصوف comes from يأتي من sheep الغنم, goats الماعز, and even rabbits وحتى أحيانا من الأرانب rabbits الأرانب. Also this statement is correct. هذه العبارة صحيحة. إذا tick on true. Tick on true. 5. Rubber comes from a tree. Rubber المطاط comes from يأتي من a tree شجرة. As we read in the paragraph, we read that or we learn that rubber comes from a tree is called the rubber tree. يأتي المطاط من شجرة تدعى شجرة المطاط. So this statement is correct. Rubber comes from a tree. So this sentence is correct. We will tick under true. Tick on true. 6. Most leather comes from cows. Most هذه كلمة راح نقراها في كتاب النشاط. Most means معظم أو أغلب. Most. معظم leather معظم الجلد comes from cows يأتي من الأبقار. And as we read, this sentence is correct or this statement is correct. So we will tick under a true. إذا راح يكون number 1 true, number 2 false, number 3 false, number 4 true, 5 true, and number 6 is a true. Now listen to track 28 to make sure from the answers.
Track 28. Listen and read. Can you guess if the sentences are true or false? Tick true or false. 1.
The word cotton comes from the Arabic word kutun.
2.
Paper is usually made from cotton.
3.
All furniture is made from wood.
4. Wool comes from sheep, goats, and even rabbits. 5.
Rubber comes from a tree.
6.
Most leather comes from cows.
Now, we complete the lesson now making the questions. Before we start to answer the activity on page 31, we should explain how to make questions by using the verb to be is or are or using helping verbs do or does. إذا الملاحظات القواعدية في الدرس كيفية عمل أسئلة باستخدام الأفعال المساعدة is, are, do or does. Number 1. نستخدم is أو are في السؤال إذا كان الفعل في الجملة هو فعل مساعد من نوع verb to be أي بمعنى is, are, am وليس فعل رئيسي. يعني بمعنى إذا كان الفعل في الجملة هو فعل مساعد من نوع verb to be is, are, am إذا راح نستخدم هذا الفعل المساعد في السؤال we will use is or are or am to make a question. For example, paper is usually made from cotton. If I want to make a question from this affirmative sentence, I should say that we have helping verb and the فعل المساعد is. So when I want to make a question, just to move is and put it at the beginning of the sentence and then put question mark at the end. So the question will be, is paper usually made from wood? So this is the question. Another example, all furniture is made from wood. Make a question. يعني اعمل سؤال. So if I see the question, the sentence here, we have helping verb with is and the فعل مساعد with is. If I want to make a question, just I will move is to the beginning of the sentence and then write a question mark at the end. It will be, is all furniture made from wood? Is all furniture made from wood? 3. Basim and Hiba are twins. Basim and Hiba are twins. Make a question. So here is a helping verb. We have are in the sentence. Then we should use are to make a question. راح نستعمل الار لعمل السؤال. I would say, are Basim and Hiba? Are Basim and Hiba twins? And then write a question mark. Another example, I'm a teacher. If I want to make a question, I should use the helping verb am to make a question. But here, change I to you, then ask with are. Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? So, number 1, if we have helping verbs, verb to be, am, is, are in the sentence, we should use them to make a question. نستعمل هذه الأفعال المساعدة is, are و am في عمل السؤال بوضعها في بداية الجملة ونضع علامة الاستفهام في نهاية السؤال. هذه لو كان معانا الفعل المساعد في الجملة is, are, am. Otherwise, if we have another verbs in the sentence, not helping verbs is, are, am, so we should use the helping verbs do or does. نستخدم do and does في السؤال إذا كان الفعل في الجملة فعل رئيسي ولا تحتوي الجملة على فعل مساعد ويكون استخدام do does بطريقتين. نستخدم does في السؤال إذا كان الفعل يحتوي على S الشخص الثالث or third personal S or إذا كان فاعل الجملة مفرد he, she, it مع حذف S الشخص الثالث من الفعل. نستخدم do في السؤال إذا كان الفعل في الجملة الرئيسي لا يحتوي على S الشخص الثالث أو إذا كان فاعل الجملة I, we, you, they. For example, the word cotton comes from the Arabic word kutun. If you focus on this sentence, this is affirmative sentence. I want to make a question. So I'm looking for the helping verbs, verb to be, am, is, are. We don't have helping verbs, am, is, are in this sentence, but we have a main verb. The main verb is comes. هون ما عندي أفعال مساعدة am, is, are وإنما عندي فعل رئيسي. So focus on the verb comes. It has third personal s يحتوي على s الشخص الثالث. So when I want to make a question, I will ask with does and then omit third personal s from the verb. So the question will be, does the word cotton come from the Arabic word cotton? This is the question. Another example, wool comes from sheep, goats, and even rabbits. I want to change this sentence into question. So just focus on the verb. We have a main verb. We don't have helping verbs am, is, are. We have a main verb, and this verb contains third personal s. So when I want to make a question, I should ask with does and omit third personal s from the verb. Then the question will be, does wool come from sheep, goats, and even rabbits? لاحظ أن الفعل الرئيسي في الجملة comes وليس فعل مساعد am, is, are. وألاحظ أن الفعل يحتوي على اس الشخص الثالث. إذا راح يكون السؤال does. ومن ثم نكمل باقي الجملة ونضع أداة استفهام في نهاية السؤال مع الانتباه بوجود does نحذف اس الشخص الثالث من الفعل. إذا here we have a note. انتبه احذف اس الشخص الثالث من الفعل عند السؤال does. Another example, they work in a hospital. They work in a hospital. If I want to make a question, just focus on the verb work. Work, it is a main verb and it doesn't have third personal s. ما عندي اس الشخص الثالث بالفعل because the subject pronoun they. So when I want to ask, I will ask with do. هسأل بدو هوني وليس بدز لأن الفعل لا يحتوي على اس الشخص الثالث. وننزل باقي الجملة ثم علامة استفهام. Do they work in a hospital? Do they work in a hospital? 4. She helps her mother every Friday. She helps her mother every Friday. This is also affirmative sentence with main verb. Helps. It's a main verb with third personal s because the subject pronoun is she. So if I want to make a question, I will start with does because the verb contains third personal s or the subject pronoun is she. إذا نسأل does لأن عندي الفعل بينه اس الشخص الثالث أو لأن الفاعل she ونحذف اس الشخص الثالث من الفعل. إذا السؤال راح يكون does she help her mother every Friday? Does she help her mother every Friday? Now we will, after we explain how to make questions by using helping verbs is, are, or, do, and does. Now complete answer the questions on page 31. He said, remember, تذكر, remember, the verb be is, are, makes questions with is, capital, it starts with capital and a question mark. Are with capital letter and then question mark. It means الأفعال المساعدة verb to be is and are إذا موجودة في الجملة فنحن نصنع السؤال باستخدام is و are ونضع علامة استفهام في نهاية السؤال. Other verbs make questions with the helping verb do or does. أما بقية الأفعال الرئيسية في الجملة فنصنع السؤال باستخدام الأفعال المساعدة do and does. Do and does. وهذا طبعا مهم وذاري مهم جدا أعزائي التلاميذ. So in this activity he said underline يعني ضع خط underline the verbs. ضع خط تحت الأفعال in the sentences في الجمل. Change the sentences into questions. غير الجمل التالية into questions إلى أسئلة. إذا المطلوب مني في هذا التمرين هو تغيير الجمل إلى أسئلة أو عمل سؤال من الجمل التالية يجب تحويلها إلى صيغة سؤال في زمن المضارع البسيط in present simple. The number one, the word cotton comes from the Arabic word cotton. As we see, we don't have is or are in the sentence. We have main verb comes within third personal s. So the question will start with does. The question will be, does the word cotton come from the Arabic word cotton? And just focus on omit third personal s from the verb come. لازم نحذف اس الشخص الثالث من الفعل. 2. Paper is usually made from cotton. Here in this sentence, we have helping verb with is. So when we want to make a question, by just moving s at the beginning of the sentence and put a question mark at the end. نحرك فقط is إلى بداية الجملة لعمل السؤال وتصبح capital letter ومن ثم نضع علامة استفهام في نهاية السؤال. The question will be, is paper usually made from cotton? 3. All furniture is made from wood. Also in the sentence here we have a helping verb with is. So just we use is to make a question. And the question will be, is all furniture made from wood? 4. Wool comes from sheep, goats, and even rabbits. In this sentence, we don't have is or are. We have main verb, comes, and this verb with third personal s. So we should use does with the question. The question will be, does wool come from sheep, goats, and even rabbits? And omit third personal s from the verb. ويجب مع استعمال does حذف اس الشخص الثالث من الفعل come. Now listen to track just to check the answers.
Track 29. Listen and check your answers. 1.
Does the word cotton come from the Arabic word kutun?
2.
Is paper usually made from cotton?
3.
Is all furniture made from wood?
4.
Does wool come from sheep, goats, and even rabbits?
5. Rubber comes from a tree. Here also we don't have is or are. We have main verb with comes and also within third personal s. So if I want to make a question, I will ask with does and omit third personal s from the verb. The question will be, does rubber come from a tree? Does rubber come from a tree? 6. Most leather comes from cows. Most leather comes from cows. معظم الجلد أو الجلود comes from تأتي من الأبقار. If I want to make a question, as in number 5, we should use does within the question. So the question will be, does most leather come from cows? And then omit third personal s from the word come. إذن هذه صيغة السؤال in the present simple. If we have am, is, are within the sentence, we will use them to make a question. If we don't have is or are in the sentence, we should use do or does to make a question. The second activity is the conversation between Bassem and Dania. Work with a partner, ask and answer. Does the word cotton come from the Arabic word cotton? Dania said, yes, it does, because he's asking with does. Yes, it does. Now, my turn. She said, my turn, يعني دوري. Is paper usually made from cotton? Is paper usually made from cotton? Now listen to track to make sure from the answers.
5.
Does rubber come from a tree?
6. Does most leather come from cows?
الآن أعزائي التلاميذ لدينا بعض نماذج الأسئلة الوزارية مهمة على الدرس. Number 1. Does طبعا choose the correct answer between brackets. Number 1. Does or is most leather come from cows? Does or is most leather come from cows? When we have main verb in the sentence, that means the question with does. إذن الأنسر راح يكون does. Does most leather come from cows? 2. Do or does rubber come from a tree? As we said, rubber is considered as singular. It. إحنا نعتبر الربر مفرد. It. فإذا السؤال راح يكون does. Does rubber come from a tree? هل المطاط يأتي من شجرة؟ 3. Is or are paper usually made from cotton? هل الورق عادة يصنع من القطن؟ هي أصل العبارة كانت paper is usually made from cotton. So the answer will be is. Is paper usually made from cotton? 4. Are or is all furniture made from wood? طبعا احنا قلنا هوني راح نستخدم الفعل المساعد is يعني نعتبر الفurniture it. So the answer will be is all furniture made from wood. 5. Does or is wool come from sheep? We have come دي فعل الرئيسي come في الجملة. إذا السؤال راح يكون عندي ب does لأن wool it. So the answer will be does. Does wool come from sheep? 6. Are or do car tires made from rubber? Here we don't have main verb, so we should use are. يعني نستخدم are في السؤال لأن أصل الجملة كان car tires are made from rubber. So the question will be are with are. Are car tires made from rubber? And 7. Do or does Wissam have cousins? طبعا وسام he. إذا لازم نسأل عندي does. راح يكون does وسام have cousins. مثل ما قلنا لما يكون عندي does في السؤال إذا أنا أستعمل have وليس has. في affirmative we said وسام has cousins. لكن في السؤال مع does راح نستخدم have. نستمر الآن بالمحاضرة لشرح قاعدة made from comes from. made from مصنوع من و comes from يأتي من. إذا نستخدم is made from و are made from للتعبير عن الأشياء التي صنعها الإنسان وتغيرت حالة مادتها. فمثلا الورق هو مصنوع من الخشب، فالخشب لم يعد موجود. هذا هو المقصود بتغير حالة المادة. إذا نحن نستخدم is made from و are made from الأشياء التي يتدخل الإنسان في صنعها. حسب القاعدة راح نستخدم is made from إذا كان الاسم قبله مفرد وبعد نعطي اسم المادة، ونستعمل are made from إذا كان الاسم جمع ونعطي اسم المادة. إذا نحن نستعمل is made from with singular، are made from مع plural. For example, these examples are from the lesson. هذه من الدرس. Paper is usually made from wood. أن الورق عادة يصنع من الخشب. تغيرت حالة الخشب بعد التصنيع وتحول إلى ورق، فاستخدمت made from وليس comes from. Car tires إطارات السيارة are made from rubber. أيضا مصنوعة من المطاط وليست comes from. لا نقول تأتي من وإنما تصنع من المطاط. طبعا هنا استخدمنا are لأن car tires plural. Number 3. A lot of furniture. الفurniture الأثار يعتبر it يعني مفرد. A lot of furniture is made from wood. الكثير من الأثاث مصنوع من الخشب. So is made from wood. Number 4. Some money is considered as uncountable. some money is made from cotton mixed with other materials. إنه بعض النقود مصنوعة من القطن مخلوط with other materials مع مادة أو مواد أخرى. 5. Some houses بعض البيوت أو المنازل هوني because house is plural إذا استعملت are made from wood. بعض المنازل أو البيوت تصنع من الخشب استعملت are لأن houses جمع. 6. A pot is made from a clay. الوعاء أو القربة a pot is made from a clay مصنوع من الصلصال أو الفخار أو الطين. clay الطين أو الفخار. إذا هنا استخدمت is made from because the pot is singular. 7. Cups and plates الأطباق والأكواب are made from clay مصنوعة من الصلصال أو الطين أو الفخار. And also they can make from metal or glass. So هذه موجودة العبارة في كتاب النشاط. Cups and plates are made from clay. Now we have finished talking about made from, is made from, or are made from. What about come from and comes from? نستخدم عبارة come from or comes from مع الأشياء التي لم يتدخل الإنسان في صنعها وإنما هي موجودة في الطبيعة. إذا حسب القاعدة الآتية راح نستعمل come from إذا كان الاسم جمع we should put come from without third personal s then the material يعني اسم المادة. أما إذا كان الاسم مفرد such as cotton, wool, leather, rubber we should use comes from نستعمل comes from within third personal s then the material هي اسم المادة. لكن احنا في درسنا استعملنا اغلب الاشياء comes from يعني كل الاشياء اللي حكينا عنها singular فحطينا اس الشخص الثالث بالفعل. وcome from او comes from تعني يأتي من مع الاشياء التي لم يتدخل الانسان في صنعها. For example, wood number 1 wood comes from trees أن الخشب يأتي من الأشجار. هذا موجود في الطبيعة بدون صنع الإنسان. As we said that wood is considered as it, so we use comes, add third person s to the verb. Wood comes from trees أن الخشب يأتي من الأشجار. 2. Rubber comes from a rubber tree. Rubber المطاط يأتي من a rubber tree شجرة المطاط. And also here we use comes from and we add third personal s because rubber is considered as it. 3. Cotton comes from a plant. Cotton القطن يأتي من النبات comes from a plant. 4. Most leather معظم الجلد أو أغلب الجلود comes from cows تأتي من الأبقار. لاحظوا احنا كلها هذه قد نضع اس الشخص الثالث comes from and نستعمل third personal s because wood, rubber, cotton and leather all of them they are singular. 5. Wool comes from sheep, goats and even rabbits. الصوف يأتي من الخراف goats الماعز and even rabbits وأيضا حتى من الأرانب. 6. Oil البترول أو النفط comes from the ground يأتي من الأرض. And as you know oil it comes within the meaning of زيت يعني ممكن يجي بمعنى زيت or it comes as نفط or petrol. وهون يجي بمعنى نفط أو بترول. Oil comes from the ground. النفط يأتي من الأرض. Ground means الأرض. 7. A plant comes from a seed. A plant النبات comes from a seed يأتي من البذرة. Then within all of these examples from 1 to 7 we use comes from because these things are in the nature without the manufactured within a human. يعني هذه موجودة في الطبيعة بدون تدخل البشر. استخدمنا معها عبارة comes from بينما في الأمثلة السابقة استعملت عبارة made from بحالتيها المفرد is made from or are made from مع الأشياء for something that humans made them or manufacture. هذا كان الفرق ما بين made from and comes from. Now we have to practice with some questions, very important questions about the difference between comes from and made from. Choose the correct answer. اختر الإجابة الصحيحة. 1. Oil come or comes from the ground. As we said, oil is considered as singular, so that the answer will be comes from the ground. 2. Wood comes from or made from a tree. إذن الخشب هذا موجود في الطبيعة بدون صنع الإنسان. So the correct choice will be comes from. Wood comes from a tree. 3. Rubber come or comes from a tree is called rubber tree. As we said, rubber is considered as it. So the answer will be comes from a tree. 4. Paper is usually made or comes from wood. As we said that paper is something man-made or human-made, so we said paper is usually made مصنوع from wood. وليس comes from. 5. Cups and plates is or are made from clay. Cups and plates are plural, so we use are in the answer. 6. Cotton comes from or is made from a plant. As we said, or as we learned in the paragraph, cotton comes from a plant. 7. Wool comes or come from sheep. أن الصوف يأتي من الخراف. فإذا نلاحظ أن wool comes from sheep. 8. A plant comes or is made from a seed. A plant comes from a seed. A plant comes from a seed. 9. T-shirts are or is made from cotton. T-shirts are or is made from cotton. So we say T-shirts are in plural هوني made from cotton. 10. Keys are always made from metal or come from metal. So we say keys are always made from metal. Question 2. Use the words in the box to complete the following. استخدم الكلمات في الصندوق لإكمال الفراغات. Here we have the words between the brackets and the الكلمات metal, clay, seed, and ground. This is one form of questions. هذه واحدة من نماذج الأسئلة الوزارية. Use these words to complete the sentences. Number 1. Keys are made from what? From metal. Keys are made from metal. 2. A plant comes from a seed. A plant comes from a seed. 3. A pot is made from a clay. A pot الوعاء الطيني هذا is made from a clay من الطين أو الفخار. 4. Oil comes from the ground. Oil comes from the ground. إذا كان هذا محاضرتنا لهذا اليوم. How to use comes from and made from. Also, we focus on how to make questions with is, are, do, and does within the present simple. المطلوب منكم أعزائي التلاميذ تحفظوا لي إملاء المفردات الخاصة بالدرس الماتيريالز الفun facts وأيضا دراسة قاعدة do, does, is, or are to make a question and the difference between comes from and made from من الدرس. كانت معكم معلمة المادة. Thanks for your listening. Your English teacher, Ms. Van Saleh Mustafa, and have a nice time.